Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the utter frauds of mainstream mathematics. You know, those fools known as mathematics and calculus lecturers or teachers. And as a special topic again, we're going to be featuring the fundamental excrement lemma. So let's begin. So Wikipedia says, in single variable differential calculus, the fundamental excrement lemma is an immediate consequence. Oh, they got it right there. That's just amazing. It is an excrement lemma. Immediate consequence of the definition of the derivative. Now let's see why this is so problematic. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is this. Oh, and you know what I should have done is I should have really just fired up this because this is a better presentation. Okay, and you'll be able to see it better. So now their excrement lemma is stated as follows. F of a plus h minus f of a over h is equal to f prime of a plus a function phi of h. Now, my historic geometric identity is stated almost similarly, but with a function q that is not solely dependent on h. It may also depend on x if there are x terms in the slope different expression. And of course, this here is well defined in my historic identity. It's the slope of a non-parallel secant line. This is the slope of the tangent line, and this is very simply the difference between these two slopes. Okay? So, their excrement lemma states all of the following, and I'm going to break it down so that you can have a good laugh. So it says, nothing about the slope of my historic identity, which works for any smooth function. By the way, it says nothing about that, and it also assumes that phi of h is solely a function of h, which is completely wrong, okay? Because, as an example, if f of x is equal to x cubed, then the derivative is 3x squared, and phi of h has an x in it. Do you see this x here? So it can't just be a function of h, which the stupid morons didn't realize. So correctly written, it would be the way I have stated it here in highlight. But of course, stupids cannot be fixed. The fact is that the prize idiots called calculus lecturers have never understood calculus, much less the so-called excrement lemma, which they extracted out of their rear ends. Let's have a few laughs on the imbeciles. Their first claim: it suffices to define phi of h equal to f of x plus h minus f of x over h minus f prime of x. The utter morons of mainstream mathematics academia do not know that they cannot just pull definitions out of their anuses. They cannot, and they provide no justification for such a definition. Mathematics isn't done on the whims of inept fools such as them. Okay. Claim 2. And by the way, you'll see that this is problematic later on, because if h is 0, which they claim when h is equal to 0, that this vanishes, you'll see that that first claim is wrong in so many ways. And then they continue and then verify that phi of h meets these requirements. So the buffoons don't realize that the argument is circular, since the only way to verify the expression q of x, h meets the requirements, which is just hand-waving bullshit, is by using the definition. Morons. Okay, claim number 3 said the excrement lemma says that when h is sufficiently close to 0, whatever the fuck sufficiently close means, the difference quotient, which is this here, can be written as a derivative plus an error term that vanishes at x is equal to 0. That vanishes at h is equal to 0. By the way, according to their bullshit mainstream calculus, h can never be 0. And of course, you can't have h is equal to 0 because, as I'll explain in a moment, if you do put phi of 0, then you have that this is equal to f prime of x, which is false unless f is a straight line. But let's just wait a little bit. So the first problem is that q of xh is not an error term, people. It's not an error term. It's just the slope difference. And we can just ignore it to find the derivative. The second problem is that h can never be 0, and that's what the next slide says. If one has h is equal to 0, then their defined function, which they pulled out of their anuses, is just simply that, a load of bullshit. Okay, because if you put h is equal to 0 there, and there, and there, you'll have 0 over 0 here, minus f prime of 0, and it's all just a lot of monkey business. So there is so much wrong with how they think because they're not capable of thinking straight. They're idiots, and they never pay attention to detail. Now, in sound mathematics, nothing vanishes, and there is always a valid explanation for why things are so. But of course, in the syphilis-infected brains of every mainstream mathematics academic, there is the magic of infinity, infinitesimals, and the circular rot of limit theory. Come on, idiots. At least try to refute me. I'm laughing every day at your ignorance and stupidity. You will all bow the knee to me some day. Of this you can be certain. There is so much wrong in just about everything you say. You're idiots, and the sad thing is you don't know it. If you're not already a subscriber, become one. Click like, by the way, because all the idiots who follow me on my channel, who are subscribers, will be clicking the dislike button and hiding this invaluable information from their students, since they don't want to be called out for the morons that they are. Also become a subscriber to my academia site. In other words, become a follower. And you'll see there that I've written many articles that will make you a lot smarter than any of your educators. And also reach deep into your pockets and contribute at my GoFundMe site. I'm John Gabriel, and this is New Calculus Channel. Till next time, goodbye.